Hey, everybody, Kristin Burton here. Welcome to the second episode of the Med Hot Spotlight series. We have Joanna Parkinson here with us today. She is an amazing thermographer. She has been around for many years and has established her business in Middle Tennessee, right in the middle where there are all kinds of other thermographers. There she is, just thriving and building. And you have what, 4 or 5 locations that you go to,
10.
or 10? Oh, sure, of course, 10. And that makes her one of the busiest thermographers in the world, really, truly, because we're watching out there. And this is more than just MedHot. As you know, I'm owner of MedHot Infrared Imaging, and we sell the cameras and camera systems, and we train the thermographers. But really, this series is just to help all thermographers. So, somebody like Joanna, even though she's a MedHot thermographer, all thermographers can learn from her. She's got a successful business. So let's just dive right in. Joanna, we're so excited to have you here today. We want to hear more of your words of wisdom. Um, you have such a thriving business that I think our thermographers that are watching this are really interested in how you build that business. So I thought a good question would be, there you are in the middle of Tennessee, and you've got a huge following, Tennessee and Kentucky, you said, right? If you had to move somewhere else and start completely over from scratch, what would be your first move?
Such a great question. I would first try to find the community of more holistic, crunchy moms. I would look for Facebook groups that'll immediately give me a ton of information about who the providers are in the area. And then I would go and knock on every door and meet every provider in the area who's even open to things holistic, and probably people who are not open to things holistic yet either. But that's where I'd start, is the more holistically leaning um, people. I'd probably ask a few questions in those Facebook communities. And if there are not those communities, I would find um, a local holistic store, and I would start asking that owner or those people who work there, who are the people in town who lean more holistic? Because that is, in my opinion, your audience. So
Yeah.
I would then go and meet all those people and start making connections, and ask if I can do a pop up in the store if there's space, or, you know, I've done that before in a couple of different store locations, but they had like an office space that worked.
I love the
Um,
word pop-up
yeah,
because it's not like it doesn't sound like a lot of commitment is around it, right?
yes,
We just pop
yes,
up.
mhm,
That's how we do. And
yeah,
there's no pressure.
yeah,
So I
exactly,
love the word pop-up, and I didn't even know that word back when I started almost 20 years ago now.
yeah.
It just didn't, but it's just such a nice word. I like it.
Well, I like it too because there are several places that I'm actually committed to that I'm there monthly, regardless, or quarterly. And those places I don't call pop ups; those are my locations.
Right.
But occasionally, somebody in town will be like, "Hey, I'd love to have you come out." I'm like, "Great, let's just do a 1 day pop up," because I'm not going to go to somewhere else in Franklin once a month because I'm here. I have an office in Franklin. But if you want me to come to your office once, that's easy.
Yeah. So is that how you got started? Really? I mean,
Yeah.
when you decided, so tell me a little more, because your husband's a chiropractor.
Okay.
And so that really helps, right? Because he's dialed into the holistic community. Tell me
He
about.
is dialed into the holistic community, but he was actually, he had stepped out of chiropractic,
Mhm.
for a little while. He was still doing it, like, on the side, but when we first got here, he was doing a different business, and so he wasn't the pull, I was the draw to, all things holistic. And so
Amazing.
he re-upped his, practice in 2021.
So did I hear you right saying he wasn't the one that was drawing in the customers? You were. And did that give him the inspiration to reignite his chiropractic practice? I mean, did they
I'm
evaluate it?
thinking 2020 probably gave him the inspiration to re-up.
Yeah.
He was actually working in the, OR at the time
Oh,
doing, neuromonitoring because it's a long story, but,
yeah.
he
Cool.
was doing that for a while, and it was a really good golden goose job. It was not gonna give us enough to advance, but would give us enough to like our life. And so him jumping out was actually a giant deal.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting. You know how these things all start to evolve.
Mhm.
So so where was your first what was your first location outside of
My
your
first
your
location was in a little, house. She's a, nurse practitioner, and she was doing functional medicine, and it was in the middle of Nolensville, and, in my mind, I was going to go there and work 2 days a week, and then I was going to, build, right, and get to 4 or 5 days a week, and that quickly, um, proved to be a silly direction for me.
Oh.
I figured out that if I worked 2 days a week, I could work 1 day a week instead and smash everybody into it.
Ah,
So, I got there and then got, um, a couple more locations in different parts of town, and those were 1 day a week, and my goal that whole time was to have as much time with my family as I could, because I was still homeschooling and, trying to help Philip get his business up and running and
mhm.
all the things. So I just wanted to have the most condensed schedule I possibly could. And I got more confident with that as time went on because I got more people coming in. Um, but my whole goal was like, I want to work 12 days a month or whatever and smash
Right.
everybody into those.
I think a lot of thermographers come on board with that intention of this is going to give me the same amount of money in 15 days a month or 10 days a month that I was making working 9 to 5. Or we have a lot of massage therapists come on board. I think medical thermography is very well suited to a massage therapist. They come in
Yeah.
with so much knowledge and
Yeah.
everything. And so they that you know helps them not have to do 3 or 4 massages a day. And so did that what was your job before thermography? Did you were you stay at home, mom with the kids, or did you do something else?
Well, I stayed at home with the kids and homeschooled them. But before that, I was in human resources
Okay. Okay.
internationally in here.
You got some business expertise. Now, when I told Dr. Carroll that I was interviewing, you said, that girl, she knows business. You
She does
talk to her about business, and your thermographers are going to want to know because you have, you're like the queen of follow ups. You're also the queen of like, you just like a lot of thermographers, they'll do on any given day. Let's say they do 10 a week. They'll do 5 breasts, right? And then they'll do 3 um, women's health, men's health studies, and then they'll do like 1 or 2 full bodies. But you have, as I understand it, have a little bit of a different way that you image and what you offer. Tell me a little bit more about that.
So I initially start off with telling them about the connection between dental, thyroid, and breast. That there's no other imaging that's going to show you the connection between dental, thyroid, and breast. And I have a couple of um, different case studies where somebody has cleaned up their dental and it's cleaned up the thyroid and the breast. So I immediately start talking to them about that. That's my go-to. I've made it my cornerstone. If I can just get everybody to a breast plus, is what I call it, then I feel great about it. I love half bodies also, which is also the abdomen. Um,
Right.
but if I can get you to a breast plus, then I can upsell you to a half body next time.
So is that what you call it, the breast plus?
Mhm.
So tell me what the regions are in the breast plus.
That's the head and breast
Yep. So the head, neck,
region.
thyroid, back of the neck,
Mhm,
upper back, breast,
mhm.
chest.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a great study if you think about it. And then what I think is cool, how you tell them and share with them. that story of, I mean, the fact of, the connection with dental, thyroid, and breast. There is such strong science there of that connection. So how do you share that with them? What do you say?
I will usually ask them, like, what things are you wanting to monitor? Is usually what I'm asking them.
Okay.
And they'll say, "Well, I've kinda dealt with some like, I have Hashimoto's and, but I just wanna really check my breasts." I'm like, "Awesome." So there is a great connection between the dental, thyroid, and breast. I have tons of people who have come in and we've noticed that there's been inflammation in their dental work. It's showed up in their thyroid and showed up in their breast. And if they just clear up their dental work, then it clears up the thyroid and the breast. I feel like it's the only place that you'll ever see that connection because we've, in modern medicine, lopped off everything. The dentist helps you with your teeth, the endocrinologist helps you with your
Yep.
thyroid, and the breast specialist or your OBGYN helps you with your breast health. And nowhere else are you going to see that all connected, but the body is all connected. So I really advise that as being the first
Wow.
appointment that you do. And, but I'm happy to schedule you for whatever.
How often do you do a full body study?
I try to do them as little as possible.
Every thermographer that's listening right now is going, I know, because it's a
Um,
lot to do. They're
well,
profitable,
oh,
but,
sure.
you
I
know,
actually, this one
yeah,
is the most profitable one. I know that having more money per person is, is a better situation, but I typically try to get them away from the arms and the legs because I'll make more money in an hour doing 2 of these than I will doing
yes,
a full body study.
absolutely. Yeah, you can do 3 of those inside the time it takes you to do 1 full body, in which case you're probably making about 30% more. I mean, that's when you figure your time versus the profit versus, yeah. And, if somebody really needs their extremities done,
Yeah,
absolutely,
yeah, and I don't mind doing it ever, and I
yeah.
can do it pretty fast.
Yes, you're fast. You can do, how long does it take you to do a breast?
I timed it the other day. It was 3 minutes.
I love it. I love it. I know some of the new people that are in training. I just had someone who for the first time, cracked like the 7 minute. Um, that threshold there is a good one to crack. But 3 minutes, you go, girl.
Well, it was freezing in the room, not that
Okay,
day, but another day that I did a full body, and I did it in 20 minutes, and Carol messaged me and was like, "You shouldn't be able to do a full body in 20 minutes." I'm like, "Okay." You weren't cold. I was.
that's super fun. Oh my gosh! And when you can do these quicker, it's very professional, and the people don't feel like, oh my gosh, I just went in there and it took me, 2 hours to do all of this history. And, then I had to, so working on your efficiency and your timing is really valuable to your business. And in training, I always challenge people. Let's take a look at how long it took you to do that. Hey, congratulations. You did a full body in under an hour, which is a good
That's
first.
huge.
Yeah, that's your first threshold, is a full body in under an hour.
Yeah.
So that's great. So now you are also the queen of follow-ups, because Dr. Carroll said, ask her how she's getting all these follow-ups on the books.
Yeah.
So do tell.
So, as soon as people are finished with their first study, I say, "Hey," well, I actually offer a discount, which I offered before, but now I offer it only to people who schedule right then for the next one. So I offer them a $50 discount on the next one. You can obviously choose whatever you want, because it's only gonna be a breast, and I can get that done in 20 minutes when I'm talking to them also.
Mhm.
And I do schedule that much time so that I can visit with them some also and see what they've been doing since the last time and what sort of things they've decided to do new lifestyle wise, just so we can create more rapport. And so that they can get information if they want it.
And so you get
And
them on the books right there.
yeah, I get them on books right there
Yes.
every
And
time.
that's the key to building your business, I think, right there. Obviously, you're very personable, you're efficient, you're professional, you're good at what you do, you have good advice, but getting them on the books right then and there. Would you agree that that is
Yeah.
the probably the most powerful tool we have?
Yeah, it was
Because
a game changer. I wasn't doing
yeah,
that for the first like 3 years. I would call them and do a follow up, but by then they'd kind of disconnected. Like they were doing their own thing. But if they're already on the schedule, more it's more likely that they'll go ahead and honor the appointment. And then that's what I want them to honor the appointment, not for me, but for them. Like, they will learn so much.
Okay, tell me more about that. What kind of education do you give them during an appointment?
I usually give them lifestyle suggestions based on their photos. So let's say you have a ton of inflammation underneath your armpit. I'm asking what kind of deodorant do you use because that is the number one thing that I would change if I could change anything. It's so close to really tissue that's super hormonally
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
active.
susceptible.
Yeah, and you're stopping yourself from detoxing if you're using stink deodorant. But often people are using good deodorant here where I live. They're already using good deodorant, but they have just years of backed up lymph. And so I'm
Yeah,
then saying,
yeah.
why don't you do some lymph massage? Or here's a girl who you go to for assisted lymphatic therapy. Or like, here's some other things, the other
Mhm.
tools that you could use.
Sure. Do you teach them dry brushing? Yeah, that's a good one too, right?
Mhm. Yep.
That just it's like a broom to a dirty floor. I mean, it
Yep.
sweeps it up,
Yep.
gets it out. Yeah, very cool. Very cool. So that is value add, right, to the appointment.
Yes.
So it's not just, well, I went in there and I turned a little brown a little bit and she took some images and she said goodbye. You spend some time with them. You allow that time
Mhm.
to talk to them, to get to know them, build the relationship, right? I know that that's important to you.
Yeah,
And
because we have a
very cool.
divider between us, this became really obvious, a couple years ago. Because there's a divider between us, the more time it takes me to image, the less time we get FaceTime.
Yes. Okay. Let me ask you this. So when you're doing their initial intake, their history intake, are they behind the divider cooling off or are they sitting
Yeah.
next to you? Yeah.
No, I have them behind the divider cooling off so that I can get it done more quickly.
Right.
Otherwise, it's gonna take forever for them to cool down once we finally are sitting there. Like, it's just the fastest way for me to get them through.
Absolutely. Okay. Good. Because I have suggested, and I'd like to hear some feedback from other people, how you you have them put the gown on and they're cooling off underneath the gown, and then they come over and sit next to you if they're comfortable in a gown next to you. 99% of them are. And then you're kind of starting that relationship building at the same time. But I still, in my business, had them behind the divider because it went quicker. It didn't invite as much chit chat when they were next to me. And I know you are the queen of efficiency. Tell me other ways that you have a very efficient business.
Um, I have an assistant who sends out my reports, and we have a locked in system. Um, she will, uh, she just manages all my reports, so I don't even have to talk to her about it. I have my own list of doctors who I need to send reports to, and I do those because she lives in a different state. Um, but I will look through my list and print out whatever reports I need to and send those off. I also would suggest that you not offer that as a service, because it's pretty time
To
consuming.
print them?
Mhm.
Oh,
I
yeah.
only do it for doctor's offices because they won't take the email because of HIPAA.
Yeah. Sometimes they don't.
Mhm.
I found that
Um,
some of the chiropractors and acupuncture physicians will
yeah,
take it as long as there's a password on it.
yeah,
And we did check with PHI attorneys who said, yep, if you have
yeah,
a password on it, it's okay.
I know.
But still, it's so nice when they get that report in the mail from you. How professional is that? That's amazing.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but she immediately sends off all of the, reports, and then she actually has a ongoing relationship with a lot of my clients too, just to keep another layer of
Mhm.
professionalism.
Gotcha. Now, do you meet with them to talk about their reports?
No, because, I do offer them the opportunity to talk to me afterwards. They can call me, they can email me if they have any questions, but typically I have kind of, um, already given them, like, the things that they were actually looking for, the lifestyle suggestions, the
Hmm.
providers who could maybe help in the area with
Right.
whatever it is that they're concerned about. So occasionally I'll have somebody say, "Hey, can I come up and visit with you about it?" and I'm happy to do it, but I just don't offer it as, like, an ongoing service.
Sure. So that's another way that you streamline it. And so when you do go over a report with someone, you keep it pretty brief. Um,
Yes.
yeah,
There's not
yeah,
that much to say at that point. I've given you kind of lifestyle thoughts
sure.
about it before.
So if you're doing that at the appointment, you're really saving yourself having to take that time
Mhm,
on the other end, right?
mhm. Yes,
Because you'd essentially be almost doubling your time that it took you, right, to do
yes.
it. So if you have a nice streamlined way of making sure that you get them the information, do you send them anything with their report?
We send them a little letter just reminding them, like, thanking them for the business, asking them for a review, reminding them of their, follow-up date, and giving them their, uh we don't tell them their password, but we say that it's their birth year, the last 4
Yeah,
digits of their birth year.
got you. Good. That's excellent. And I love so you're streamlining, is how you create this very profitable and yet so warm and so, relationship centered. I love it. It's great. Any challenges that you've, overcome over the years, like something that really was a real hump to jump over?
Yeah. I mean, tons of things. I've had some providers who weren't the best communicators.
Sure. Yeah.
And they, uh, weren't as clear as they could be, so I just had to get very clear on my expectations and what I am willing to do, and I'm happy to work around people to an extent. Does that make sense? Um, but there's just been some, like, confusion, before, like, with, "Am I gonna get a key or are they gonna open up the door for me?"
Yes.
Those sort of things. And so those have been my kind of biggest hurdles. I had a hurdle at the beginning where I had a doc who was talking about my reports, interpreting my reports, and my people are so crunchy that they were like, "Does she mean I need to lop off my breast?" I'm like, "Wait, wait, wait. Hold up.
Let's get this straight here.
No." And so Dr. Carroll for a while was, doing my interpretations because I was like, I need somebody who's gonna understand my crunchy people."
Right.
And they just wanna know, how they can do this as holistic as possible.
Yeah. That's great you found your tribe. I think the moral of the story is you've gone out there and you found your tribe. You found your hosting physicians that
Mhm.
you work successfully with. And how long has this taken you? I mean, this is not an overnight thing, and I want thermographers to know it's a build. And I've had I've had people that came on with me 2 years ago that right now are really hitting their stride after, like, a year and a half or 2 years. All of a sudden, they're up there at doing those
Yeah,
25 a month.
yeah.
Tell me more about how you did that.
I mean, I think with everything that came up, with each thing that came up, I was like, "How does this need to look different? How can I do this different? How can I just talked to people and tried to figure out what they needed. The one girl who got so freaked out about this little bitty vein on her breast
No.
because the way that the interpreting physician talked about it, I was like,
Yeah.
"Okay, I gotta fix this. It's a problem."
Yeah. So, yeah, and our thermographers, I think hopefully they all know, and most thermographers, even if you're not with Physician's Insight or MedHot, know that you can get clarification from the interpreting physicians, and also let state your needs too,
Mhm,
and what
mhm.
you need in terms of, hey, I we're not going to be scaring the clients here. I think Physician's Insight does a good job at that.
I do
They,
too.
yeah, they do. So, okay. Well, this has been very enlightening. Thank you. Um, do you have any like documentation or anything you would share with our listeners? For instance, your cover letter. We have cover letters that we provide in our training, but you might have one that, has a nice ring to it, or anything that you provide your people. We'd be happy to, offer that. as something that people can request.
Okay,
Yeah.
I can do that.
You are so good at what you do. You're so efficient. You're so streamlined. You're so successful. How much longer do you think you're going to want to do this?
Ooh, that's a great question. Um, I love this and I love our community. And um, I want to be involved in this community forever because I live here. Um, and so I don't know. I've thought about hiring somebody. I've thought about, um, getting more people involved in the travel part. And maybe I just come here. And if you want me, you get to come to this office.
Yes, exclusively, Joanna.
Uh huh. Uh huh. So we'll see. I don't really know.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you've got some time yet. And, like Dr. Carol is in her 80s now. So, you got a ways to go if you want to.
And she's still rocking it.
She's rocking it. Oh my gosh. She runs circles around all of us.
That's real.
Very exciting. Have you gotten a chance to see the new software?
I don't know if I have. I mean, it's probably on my system, is it not?
I wasn't sure if no, there was a
Okay,
sneak peek of the new Acquire
got it.
software we're
I
so
haven't.
excited about. Dr.
That's cool.
Carol is okay with me talking about it just briefly, but the new software is coming. So
Yay.
it's not going to be different, but it is going to be new and streamlined. And there's been a lot of us that have like been contributing ideas, and so we are very excited to roll this out within probably the next couple of months.
Love.
So
That's awesome.
yeah, yeah. Joanna, thank you so much for being a
Thank
part of
you.
our Spotlight series. I know that there have been a lot of great pearls of wisdom that our thermographers who are watching can can use in their businesses to make them better, and we really appreciate you for that. So, hey, you go, girl. You keep on fighting the good
Thanks.
fight and going out there and sharing medical thermography with the world. Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
Kristen. Thanks. You too. Take care.
You too.